Uber and Lyft are giving away a lot of money in hopes that they can try to bring drivers back onto the platform. Well, let's talk about some of the issues that this faces, as well as it's really a slap in the face to most drivers. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to the Rideshare Guy. And today we're going to be talking about some of Uber and Lyft's tactics to try to bring drivers back on the platform, attract new drivers, and why it's really kind of a slap in the face to most drivers. We're all very well aware of the ongoing Uber and Lyft driver shortage because everything is reopening and people want to use the app. And that means they're using the platform, but drivers are not coming back. There's many reasons for it. We've talked about that in other videos. You can check out those other videos if you do want more information. But today we're going to be talking about some of the bonuses that Uber and Lyft are offering, as well as why it's really a slap in the face to drivers. Now, if you're a driver for Uber and Lyft and you took time off from Uber and Lyft during this pandemic and you haven't driven in a number of months, you're probably getting bombarded with different promotions from both companies to come back on. You might see from Uber 3 rides for $100, and that's been a very standard promotion where you'll receive $100 for 3 rides given in hopes that you'll actually come back and drive and continue driving after those 3 rides. Now, Harry also made a video on that very bonus because that was what he was offered to go back and start driving Uber again. So if you want to check out his video about the 3 rides for $100, leave a link in the description below so you can go over there and check that out. And it also varies on markets for how many drivers are actually needed to compete with the amount of rides that are coming in. And places like Tampa, Florida, where Lyft offered $6,000 in earnings guarantees for taking 100 rides, which essentially equals $100 per ride. And I made a video on that very subject of a driver who took that opportunity and then said, well, I quit after those 100 rides, making $6,000. To check out that video and a little bit more information, again, link is going to be in the description below so you could check that one out as well. But there's a huge glaring problem with these bonuses and these earning guarantees that is a real slap in the face to most drivers. First off, these bonuses are only available to drivers who took off during the pandemic, and they're trying to attract them back on the platform or new drivers to come and start driving on the platform. So it's a one-off bonus that you're only going to get once or a few times to come back and then stay on the platform. Now, after taking the 3 rides and getting $100, then what? You're back to the normal rates of what you were driving for probably before the pandemic, unless they changed. And highly unlikely that they went up in most markets. Some markets, they actually went down. Smack in the face. Then on top of it, for these new bonuses to come on, like that $6,000, you're getting acclimated to making $60 a ride, when the actual average for taking a ride is somewhere in the neighborhood of around $7 to $10 over the course of all of your rides. Now, that is the average. I mean, you're going to make some where you could make $100 a ride. You can make some where it's going to be your minimum. But overall, the average is only going to be about $7 to $10. And that's across most markets. So after you're done with that $100 for $6,000, if you were even lucky enough to have that in your market or something even comparable, after that, again, you're going down to the normal rates. Smack in the face. But now that's just the drivers who took off, and the drivers who haven't even started driving yet. They're trying to bring these people back or to attract new people to continue on with their platform. What about all of the drivers that stayed on during the pandemic through its entirety or took a few months off but came back many months ago and have been driving ever since? They're not getting any extra bonuses when it comes to some of these ride bonuses. And that's a huge smack in the face. Sure, I know exactly what it's like out there. There's a lot of surge. There's a lot of extra bonuses. There's ride bonuses and things like that that are going on. But that's only because of the supply and demand issue. Once that gets back to as many drivers are on the road as ride requests coming in, all that goes away. And it goes back to pre-pandemic, and it goes to surge during events and different times in your particular market. and you're going to probably be seeing much normal rates, less bonuses, less promotions overall, and making the same amount of money or even less, because we all know prices are going up. And that includes your biggest expense of gas. That's a huge expense that's going up, yet rates are not. Another smack in the face. And not only that, we know there are a lot of shortages and supply chain shortages. So some parts for your vehicles, some parts for new cars aren't even available, and they're sitting on the lots, causing more of a headache and prices to rise when it comes down to everything else. Yet rates continue to remain the same or even decrease in some areas. Now, I understand that Uber and Lyft are trying to do everything that they can to bring drivers back onto the platform to make sure that riders are happy. Yet this should send a message that drivers aren't happy. They're not coming back on the platform as quickly as you want, and there are reasons for it. So maybe Uber and Lyft, you need to do some self-reflection and figure out what is going on and how you can really attract drivers, which is going to benefit everybody, and then keep drivers on the platform. The easiest thing that you could do, raise rates across the board. You could raise rates for drivers, have competitive pricing for passengers, which is going to keep them happy. You're going to pay drivers more, which they're going to be happy because they're going to be able to cover costs. They're going to be able to maybe work a little bit less, spend time with their family, their friends, doing something else. Doesn't matter. But they're going to be able to make more money, which is essentially what drivers want from the get-go. And there's also a way for you as a company to structure this whole thing where you can also become profitable. It's a win-win-win. But Uber and Lyft are not doing that, and it's causing them to probably shoot themselves in the foot because some drivers are just going to walk away and never come back. Take a look at that driver who decided to go the 100 rides, get their $6,000 earnings guarantee, walk away. You did that in 1 week. Yes, I know drivers who are currently driving are making a lot of money, but the thing is, any driver that comes on board at any time right now is also making that same money plus the bonuses. And that's the real slap in the face when it comes to all of these issues that drivers who continued driving or took a little bit of time off but decided to come back early are now facing. All right, and now I want to hear what your thoughts are on all this. What do you think about this? Do you think that these different things are slaps in the face? Do you think that Uber and Lyft could handle it much different for all drivers, benefiting whether they're coming on the platform or have stayed on the platform? Any other thoughts you might have on this particular topic? Comment below, let us know. And if you think that pay rates should just rise across the board for drivers, where they're going to be able to make more money working a little bit less, is a best option to go, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. As well as make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring the bell for notifications because there's new videos every single week about different aspects of the gig economy, how you can maximize your earnings, and many of the different changes that are taking place over these different platforms. All right, everyone, drive safe.